So she left you. Good. Like, honestly, especially if you're in your early 20s, that might be the best thing that ever happened to you. Yeah, but it's not going to feel like that right now. Like, right now, it probably feels like your whole life has been ripped away from you. You're just constantly checking your Instagram story and wondering where she is and who she's with and whether she misses you or not. And you're probably thinking about messaging her for that closure, which normally means you're now making yourself look like an even more desperate beg. Yeah, twat in that final conversation. But what you don't seem to realize yet is she hasn't taken your life away from you. She has literally handed it back. Okay, you now got your time back. You now got your energy back. You now got the opportunity to actually look at yourself properly and actually decide the sort of man you're actually going to become. And you can either waste that opportunity, feeling sorry for yourself, going out drinking every weekend and going on dating apps and desperately trying to replace her, or you can literally use it to build a life so good that eventually you will look back and you will be grateful that it all happened. Okay, and I know what happens when you choose that first option, because that's exactly what I did. Yeah, I was some skinny fat mess going out drinking every weekend and getting pissed and living in a body that I absolutely hated. And I was insecure. I never felt good enough for the girl or anyone I was with for that matter. And because I didn't feel good enough, I just became a complete melt. I had no real standards, no mission, no identity that I actually respected. And guess how that relationship ended? Yeah, exactly how you expect. Okay, she left me. Like, I was a complete mess. I got all emotional. I was just a melt, guys. All right, I felt like a loser. I felt rejected. And instead of actually just sorting myself out, I did what most lads do in their early 20s. I went out drinking and chasing other women and using dating as some sort of distraction. And I just tried to get back on the horse. Okay, I thought some attention from another woman would prove that I was good enough. And maybe it did work. Maybe it did work for maybe 5 minutes. And then eventually the alcohol just wears off. Okay, the girl goes home and now you're just still stuck living in the same body that you hate, with the same shit habits, feeling exactly the same internally. Yeah, that was the real problem. Okay, I didn't miss her. I just didn't like the person that she left me alone with. And this is what loads of lads do after the breakup. They don't actually rebuild themselves. Okay, they just keep changing the vice. They keep changing the distraction. And now myself looking back a few years later, like, her leaving me was honestly, like I say, generally the best thing that ever happened to me. All right, not because I transformed my life overnight. I didn't. But I wasted years trying to avoid what the breakup actually exploded. But eventually I just realized that I didn't need another girlfriend, another woman. All right, I need to actually become someone, a man that I actually respected. And that's what your early 20s should be about, in my opinion. Find out what you're truly capable of, actually just going all in on your body, on your career, fixing your habits, creating some proper structure, actually working out what you actually want your life to actually look like. Yeah, not losing your best years trying to prove that you moved on every Saturday night and going up and hitting up the same pub, chatting to the same girls. And this is the thing I also see with so many men these days. They waste their potential because they get pulled into some serious relationship far too young. In my opinion, like from the ages of 18 to 21, you should be going out and you should be fucking about a little bit and, making the mistakes, going and meeting women and just doing all this stupid shit that people do. Experiences, okay, lessons. Like, you do need to learn a few lessons the hard way, but from the ages of 21 onwards, like, at some point you need to actually start taking yourself seriously, okay? You cannot spend every single weekend going out and getting pissed and getting on the packet and then recovering until Tuesday and then waiting for the weekend again, getting excited for the weekend. That's embarrassing, guys, okay? Like, these are some of the best physical years of your life. You should be using it to build the body, to build standards. But loads of men, they get into relationships now, basically they just take some early retirement. They now found a girlfriend, so as far as they're concerned, the game's finished. The gym now becomes an option. They stop seeing their mates. Their ambition disappears. They just become a complete simp in the process. And now every weekend has become a Chinese and a cuddle and watching whatever shit she wants to watch. And then slowly you stop being the bloke that she originally fancied. Yeah, you stop training, you stop developing yourself. You now develop some podgy little belly. You now, stop building anything of your own. You just become some little lapdog following her around and waiting to be told what to do that evening, that weekend. And she might tell you she doesn't care. She doesn't care. She wants a dad bod and all of this. That's bollocks, guys. She wants a fucking man. She wants a fucking stud. She wants a boyfriend she can actually be proud to stand next to and flex off to her mates. Yeah, someone with a savage physique, someone who is 10% body fat, someone who actually has his own mission. And a life that doesn't completely revolve around her, like not some needy little melt who's now got a girlfriend and immediately stops trying. Yeah, you think that becoming more available, that becoming more agreeable and becoming more comfortable will now make her love you more. But eventually she will look at you and she will feel repulsed and she will realise that the bloke she originally fancied is now completely gone. Because you didn't lose yourself when she left. You literally lost yourself whilst you were still with her. Yeah, and that might not be what you actually want to hear right now, but that is the truth. Yeah, but there is a reason she left you. Yeah, maybe she was partly the problem. Maybe she did cheat. Maybe she did lie. Maybe she did treat you like complete shit. Now, I don't know the exact situation. But even if she was completely in the wrong, you still need to actually look at what you accepted. You need to actually look at what you ignored, what you let stay the same. Maybe you did let yourself go. Maybe you did become a little bit needy. Maybe you did stop training and just lost all ambitions outside of the actual relationship. Maybe you actually just relied on her for all your confidence, for all your happiness, for all your validation. All right, this isn't about sitting there and hating yourself and begging for another chance. It's about actually just being honest about where you actually fell short and actually taking responsibility and control of what actually happens next. Yeah, your past relationship might have failed. That doesn't make you a failure. You literally assess what went wrong and you adjust a plan and you go again. Because there's plenty more fish in the sea. And there's probably better fish in the sea. Yeah, but at some point you need to stop going and finding another one and actually just start turning up for yourself. Actually start becoming the man, okay? You only truly fail if you learn absolutely nothing. You just carry on in the same body with the same habits and the same insecurities and bring it into your next relationship. So take it as a wake-up call. Yeah, you've got a clean slate now. No relationship to hide inside of. No one else to blame. No reason not to go in on yourself. And start with the obvious shit. Start cleaning up your room, your environment. Start sorting your hygiene out. Start fixing your sleep, your habits. Stop drinking. Cut all the vices. Stop hanging around fucking losers. And start moving every single day. Yeah, start actually just getting some structure back into your life. So many people lack it these days. Because if your environment is a mess, if your body is a mess, and every day is completely random, of course you're gonna feel like shit. You don't need to wait to feel motivated. Okay, you need to actually start behaving like someone you actually respect. And the first proper target I'd give any man post-relationship is that simple. My advice is get to 10% body fat. Okay, not just lose a little bit of weight, not just feel slightly more comfortable in your own skin. Get properly lean, get to 8 to 10% body fat. See your abs, see what your face and your body is actually capable of. Because most men go through their entire life without actually seeing their best physique. And then they decide they're unattractive. And then they decide they lack the confidence. They decide they got some shitty genetics. Mate, you haven't even met your best looking version of yourself yet. You spent years just hiding under a shit food and alcohol and no real structure and all these average standards. Before you actually decide you're broken, go get yourself properly lean and meet the bloke underneath all the shit habits and the vices that you have literally been holding on to. And no, 10% body fat won't magically fix every little problem in your life. It's not gonna build a career for you. It's not gonna actually find your true mission. It won't choose the right woman for you. But it's about getting you, and forcing you to stop living accidental. Okay, actually taking some control of your life, of your body. And you stop saying one thing and doing the other. Because now you've built the body, now you've built some actual physical evidence that you can actually make a decision and actually follow through with it. Because confidence needs evidence. Yeah, you cannot just sit in a room repeating affirmations while continuing to live like someone who doesn't respect himself. Okay, you need to actually look in the mirror and know that you built yourself up through the hard work, through the discipline. Yeah, know that you're a year-round stud. But here's the thing, like, don't misunderstand me here. Like, I'm not saying, no, I'm not telling you to get lean just to flex off to her. Yeah, post on your Instagram story and for her to regret leaving you and just build some sort of, revenge physique like most people do. Build your entire transformation around some fantasy of bumping into her in 6 months' time and her watching you and just wanting to beg you back. Because if she's still the reason behind everything you do, she is literally still controlling your life. Like, at the beginning, fair enough. If that's what needs to be done, technically you can use it as pain, you can use it as anger. Like, if the breakup gets you into the gym and actually finally makes you start sorting your shit out, that is good. But eventually the mission needs to become yours. Yeah, you should reach a point where you're no longer thinking about, I hope she regretted leaving me. You're literally thinking, I cannot believe I was willing to settle for that version of myself. And her. Okay, it becomes so far removed from the bloke she left that going back will literally feel backwards. And getting to 10% body fat isn't about, going to the gym and lifting a few weights and hoping for the best. Like, there are a lot of lads who train for 5 years, 5 times a week, and they still look like complete shit. They still lift the weights. They still spend the other 18 hours of the day or 17 hours of the day sitting on their arse, eating rubbish and scrolling on their phone and wondering why they still got no energy. Going all in means sorting your entire life out. Okay, start by moving your body every single day. Start by getting your steps in, doing your cardio, sorting your nutrition out, knowing your calories, knowing your macros, whatever phase you're in with your current physique. Start timing your meals around when you actually need the most energy in them work blocks or your training sessions. Actually eating like someone who actually wants to perform at the highest level possible on a daily basis. Yeah, if you've just been sitting on a desk for hours all day, feeling half dead, what I like to do is I like to get down and I like to get a little pump circuit. I like to get some blood flowing into the muscles. I like to change my state. I stop accepting feeling sluggish and half asleep. That doesn't happen, okay, when you have that dip of energy. This is one of my CC10 daily habits. You can literally get access to all 10 down below if you want to feel physically and mentally sharp. It's down below, okay? It's free, guys. And part of being mentally sharp is actually just being careful of what you actually put in your head as well. Yeah, the radio, the music, the news, the bloke at work talking about who he shagged on the weekend, like all this negative shit. Yeah, start listening to audiobooks, start learning something, start actually priming your mind with some useful information instead of just waking up and immediately consuming whatever little depressing shit is on your phone. Stay off your phone for the first few hours of the day. Because energy isn't something that you just wait around hoping to fill. Your lifestyle literally produces it. If you wake up late and you eat like shit and you sit indoors all day and spend hours checking your ex's page, of course you're gonna feel lifeless. So fix the inputs, fix your movement, fix your training, fix your food, fix your environment, what you consume mentally. Yeah, get all that working together, and trust me, you won't just feel better, you will literally start operating like a completely different man through all of this. Okay, I was actually speaking to one of my clients inside my elite program the other day, my one-to-one calls, and he's been working with me for a little over 3 months now on his fitness, on his mindset, and he was literally telling me the difference that he feels when he hits the CC10 daily habits. Yeah, when he's hitting his training, when he's doing them growth focused work blocks, when he's hitting his macros to the gram, he's hitting the meal plan that's just been planned out in front of him, removing that decision fatigue on a daily basis. He tells me how much more energy he has day to day, how much more he gets done. He originally came to me some unconfident guy who had a time management issue. But now we jump on the calls and he's high frequency as fuck and he's high energy and he's confident and he actually feels like he's in control of his actual life, because most men think getting in shape is just about changing what they see in the mirror. It's important, guys, but every time you complete those daily habits, you're literally proving something to yourself. Okay, you're proving that you can actually be trusted. Yeah, and when you repeat that long enough, all right, every day, not just for a week, every single day, you start changing the way you actually see yourself. Repetition, that's what actually builds real confidence. All right, becoming the man you know you need to be. And then when eventually you do meet another woman, you don't repeat the exact same patterns. You don't spend all this time rebuilding yourself just to get comfortable and throw it all away again. Okay, you still train, you still hold yourself to the highest level, you keep the training in you for the aesthetics, you keep looking after your body, you keep building your career, you keep building your own mission. And a woman can either come with you on that journey, and if she doesn't want to support you, then fair enough, she's got to go. Yeah, she can support you, she can massively add to your life, but she cannot become your entire life. And it's exactly the same with the gym. The gym shouldn't become your entire life either. No, you don't need to spend 3 hours in the gym every single day and refuse all these social events and start carrying Tupperware into restaurants. I've been that guy. It's literally 45 minutes to an hour your day. Yeah, all these guys that say they don't have the time, it's bollocks. You literally get in, you train properly, and you get it done. And then you go and you actually build an actual life with the energy, with the confidence, with the physique that the training literally gives you. Because fitness is the tool. Okay, it's not the final destination. Like, the whole point is literally to build a savage body that improves everything around you. The way you operate, opportunities, future relationships. Yeah, so remember, your relationship doesn't become your whole life. The gym doesn't become your whole life. They literally both fit around building something bigger, your own mission. Because ultimately, this is bigger than just your ex. This is bigger than just getting lean for a photo shoot, for a holiday. This is bigger than attracting another woman. All right, you need something that actually belongs to you. You need something that you're actually building. You need to actually know where you're actually getting to, where you're at right now and where you actually want to get to. Because hard work without direction just leaves you absolutely battered, with absolutely nothing to show for it, okay? You can train hard, you can sweat your absolute bollocks off and work all these long hours and tell yourself you're keeping busy every minute of the day. But if none of it is actually moving you forward to the life that you actually want, the body that you actually want, you're literally burning energy. And loads of men do this. They just think they're constantly busy because they're constantly tired, because they're constantly telling everyone how hard they work. But then yet five years later, they're still in the same place with their body. Yeah, everyone knows that guy that goes to the gym and looks exactly the same. They're still in the same position with their finances, with their life. Okay, don't confuse being busy with actually moving forward. Like, decide this next chapter of what your life's actually going to be and what you're actually building and where you actually need to go. Start building a roadmap out. All right? Know what kind of man you're literally becoming. Then let your body and your habits and the way you actually live prove that you actually head in that direction. Because the goal isn't to spend the rest of your life recovering from a breakup. The goal is to build a life where the breakup becomes a tiny fucking footnote. And even if you're watching this right now and you're still in a relationship, don't wait until she leaves you. You know, so many retards out there, then they step down now. They stop getting complacent. They stop acting like getting a girl means, they start acting like getting a girl means they've completed the game. You keep training, you keep improving, you keep looking after yourself, you keep continuing to grow. Become a lifelong learner, because so many men wait until the relationship is already dead before they actually decide to actually change. Suddenly now they're back in the gym. Suddenly now they're eating clean, they're cleaning up the diet. Suddenly now they found all this ambition back. But where was that when you were still with her? All right, do not wait until you've lost everything to actually start appreciating what you've already got. You've already got the body, you already got the legs. Start using it. Yeah, you shouldn't need her to leave you before you actually start finally sorting your shit out. So yes, if she left you, it might seem like the worst thing right now. But a few years from now, trust me, it will generally be the best thing. All right, not because relationships are bad, but because now you've got a clean slate. Now you can actually fix your habits. Now you can actually sort your lifestyle. You can get lean. You can actually build some muscle tissue and actually become someone that you actually respect. Yeah, your relationship hasn't failed. You didn't fail. Okay, assess what's happened and adjust and handle it. And just get your life back on track, yeah? Don't waste your life, guys. That's the way I see it. Okay, you've literally just been handed it back. All right, by her. Let's go, guys.